Alright, today we have to measure for all new cabinets in this kitchen. All the cabinets here are going to get tore out by us, and then we're going to be installing brand new ones. The configuration of this kitchen is going to be pretty much the exact same thing, meaning the doors are going to be the same configuration, the drawer boxes, the drawer fronts, the layout will be pretty much the exact same. There'll be a few changes, but for the most part, what they have right now is what they're going to get again. They just want brand new, so that way then everything looks super good. For this kitchen, the client chose the Shaker 45 door, which is just a shaker door with this 45-degree angle on it. It's easy to clean, holds up well, super durable. And then again, it's all new cabinets. I think there's 15 cabinets in here we have to get measured up and built. Tear out all of these, tear out all the countertop, all the old trim and everything. And then we're going to be making new trim up here for the crown. So that way then there's just no gaps. We don't have to caulk. Everything will look super good and clean. Same with the toe kick down below. All the shoe molding we're going to make in-house and make sure it all looks super good for the client. Same thing with all the doors, the drawer fronts, the drawer boxes, cabinets, everything in here is going to be getting remade and installed by us. The first thing that I do when I come in here to talk to the client about measuring is I just go over the whole project, see if there's anything he wants to add, get rid of, change, whatnot. And then I'll pick the door style. He picked that Shaker 45 right there, that 45-degree angle. And then the drawer fronts will match that. A few things that we're kind of changing is he has this like kind of awkward pull-out situation here with these doors. So we're just going to make two doors and then have adjustable pull-out boxes inside of here. It'll be a much cleaner look. We won't have this divider kind of filler situation that'll be awkward. And then over here I just noticed there's some other drawer boxes inside of there that he wants to keep. So we're just going to be making brand new ones inside of our brand new cabinets. Typically the cabinets come with shelves, so those are just things that I want to write down so that I know we need to make and I know that he wants us to make. Once I talk everything over with the client, I'm going to start making all of my notes. This is my drawer box sheet. I've gone around the kitchen and figured out exactly where the drawer boxes are going to be. And I'm super particular. All of these sort of notes will coincide with the door sheet that I'm about to make, and it'll also go with when I measure for all the cabinets. So everything is labeled the exact same thing. So this cabinet right here to the right of the fridge, the drawer boxes will be called right of fridge, the doors will be called right of fridge, the cabinet will be called right of fridge. That way then when we go to install it, it's just super easy. We don't have to think too much. We can just install and make it super perfect. I have all of my information sheets made up. This is the note sheet. Tells me my gaps for the appliances, anything I need to bring, how many doors, boxes, everything like that. This is my door sheet. Once we build all the cabinets, we will measure for all those doors. That's the drawer box sheet. It'll show us the sizes for all the drawer box we need. And these are all of our cabinet sheets here. And then I have to still measure for all the cabinets, but we will use all that information to load it into the CNC, which will cut the cabinet shells. We can build the face frames from this information, and then get the face frames ready to put on the cabinets, build all the doors, build all the drawer boxes, install everything, and get this whole job done. All that I have to do here to measure is, I have this cabinet labeled here, lower right of the fridge, obviously. It's going to be 24 inches deep, so I'm going to double check that, but that's a standard size for lowers. This has 2 drawer fronts. It has 4 drawer boxes, 2 here, and there's going to be 2 inside of the doors. And then obviously there's 2 doors. Since there's those pull-out boxes inside of the doors, there's 0 shelves, and then there's going to be one skin here on the left-hand side, skin side panel, so that way it looks finished. We have our toe kick, we have our height. I have to measure our width, and then I'll just double check the width again, double check the height, double check the depth. That's all I'm doing here. I would say the hardest part about measure day is, besides thinking through, double checking everything, is just making sure all your notes are in order and correct. That's what takes the longest. The measuring, as long as too much stuff isn't changing, is super easy. It's just going through your notes, double checking everything, thinking through everything, measuring up all the trim, everything, so that way when you come and install, it's all gonna fit. Alright, so we have everything measured, figured out with the client, gone through, double checked here at the house. We're gonna pack everything up, go back to the warehouse, and then double check everything again, do some more math for the face frame, figure out the box sizes, and input everything to the CNC. That way then tomorrow the CNC can be cutting, we can be building face frames, drawer boxes, everything can get sprayed then, put together, and then we can measure for doors, come over here, and install everything. Alright, so now that I'm back at the shop, I'm going to take all my notes from here and measurements. We're going to input them into the CNC. But first, I'm going to figure out my drawer box widths. I already have my heights figured out, but I'm basically just going to take the width of the cabinet, subtract the face frame, subtract the extra width for the drawer box slides. You have to take 3/8 of an inch off, and then I'll be able to get the width measurements for all the drawer boxes. And then after that, I'll figure out my face frame widths by taking the total width of the cabinet and subtracting a bunch of stuff and doing all of that math. And then that way, everything is fresh in my head, and I can just put it on a piece of paper and know that I'm not forgetting anything. So now I have all the math for the drawer boxes done, all the widths, the heights, the depths, everything labeled. It all correlates to the cabinet labeling, so that way everything's uniform. Next thing I'm going to do is do the math for the drawer boxes, so that way then we know what to cut them down to, so we can take them over to the dovetail machine and dovetail those. The guys have been tearing out a kitchen all day, the one that we're going to be installing tomorrow, and they unloaded one of them, completely filled up the dumpster. That's okay though. They come tomorrow to get all this out of here, but the old cabinets were built in to the house, so they had to come out piece by piece. They couldn't come out as a full unit, which makes it a little bit harder, but it's all good. It broke down pretty easy. There's another van still coming, so probably just have to set that in the warehouse somewhere until the dumpster guys come tomorrow, and then we can fill the dumpster back up. The last bit of math I have to do today is all the math for the face frames. This takes the longest. It's not that hard. You just have to take all the math that's on here, the dimensions, the width, the height, and transfer that to here, and then subtract what you need to subtract off to get your side, top, middle, bottom pieces for the face frame. Alright, so all the face frame math is done. Basically how this works is, for this upper cabinet right here, where are we at? Right here. 30 inches tall, 15 inches wide. So we come here. Face frames are 1.5 inches wide. There's 2 of them, so we subtract 3 inches from the width of the cabinet. We get 12. We're putting a piece of crown trim at the top, so I make my face frame a little bit wider to account for that. So it's 12 inches wide, 2.5 inches tall, I guess you could say. Same for the bottom piece, 12 inches wide, 1.5 inches tall. And then for the left and the right side, you don't have to subtract anything. It's 30, unless it's a lower. On the uppers, you don't subtract anything because there's no toe kick, so it's 30 inches tall. So both pieces are 30 inches. And on this cabinet, each face frame are 1.5 inches wide. So there's your top piece, your bottom piece, your left and your right piece, and then we cut all those to size, we Craig jig them, and we put them all together. We just got back with this wood order. We got to get it unloaded, put it all away in the piles that it goes, Then we'll go from there. We got all the cabinets loaded up for tomorrow. We're gonna be taking all 3 vans. I think me and one other guy is gonna be going to install. And yeah, that's what we're doing tomorrow. I don't think we'll get the trim kit done, but that's okay. We'll trim it out Wednesday. But yeah, tomorrow we'll bring all the cabinets in, start finding studs, start getting everything level, make everything look good. Hopefully everything fits and then I measured it correctly. It should, but yeah, we'll go from there. One of the other guys is gonna be cutting face frames for the job that I measured today. And yeah, we'll just see where the week goes. See you tomorrow.